right, Chad. Here we go. So we're at Seaside, and it's not too bad of a day. It's a little weird, I guess you could say. Outside is a little better than where you were surfing, but it was good for you to be on the inside so you can get all the waves and not have to compete with the other people out there while we're just like going through some of the basics. So let's see this is your opening wave, which was pretty good. I remember. I think you remember this one too. But here we go. So I think that first wave shows a lot of progression on your part. Um, you're getting into it right here. So you're just trying to get around that little section to find that little pocket right there where you can get a turn off. I think maybe you would have come out here to try to do your turn, and obviously you see there's no wave, so you're turning in the right area of the wave where it's a little steeper, and that's because it's steeper. That's why you're able to do this turn, because there's something for your board to kind of bank off of. Where over here, if you did that, you'd be doing nothing. You'd lose all your speed, and you wouldn't be able to get back to the whitewash where you want to get back here to get your speed back. So let's see here. So you come up. That's good. And you threw a little spray right there, and then went back into the whitewash to gain more speed. Maybe you went too far back. Like it looks like you did it, and then you should have just turned right there. You should have been kind of banking off of it and then coming back. So you kind of hung out in the whitewash a little too long, and then it kind of consumed you a little bit. Because you would have been able to bank, get right here, and then bottom turn and do another maneuver, or kind of come around here and then ride the wave more, whatever you're gonna do. But you see how you got held back a little bit. So just try to do a little. Once you get back to whitewash, you're gonna have to gauge the wave on what it's doing. But you'll just learn that with time on how to understand. How much do you want to go back into this whitewash? How much do you want to bank off it, and then get back on the face again, so you can get another maneuver in. And see how that wave had some more juice left too, for sure. So it's a little bit caught behind. So let's go to the next one. This is Tonino. So I just wanted to show that one because, look out how he maintains speed. This guy knows how to go really fast. So he's using that whitewash right there to climb up it and then come down it with more speed. And he's right in the steep part of the wave again. He's timing all this like perfectly. That's another why it separates the good surfers from the okay surfers, is they know how to time the wave. They know exactly where they're going. So, and see how he just stays really high in the wave. He's not bottom turning. He's staying high. He knows he wants to get speed to get down to the end. He's probably figured out right when he took off he wants to do an air on this wave. So looks like he just wants to get a lot of speed. And then once he sees that section that he wants to do an air on, he does a baby bottom turn. He doesn't go too far to the bottom, because if he went too far to the bottom and came straight, he'd be coming straight up, and he wouldn't be able to get the projection to fly out. So baby bottom turn, he's hitting at a little angle. See that angle? And then huge error. Perfect error, just like held on too long. It's like, seems like for me sometimes when I do errors, it just feels so good to be in the air. You don't want to let go. You just want to keep going. That's my problem with pulling errors. Let's see this one. Okay. So let's see, you're getting into this pretty good. It's a pretty mushy wave. There's not a lot of, it's not really wedging, so it's kind of a mush burger. And see, like you lean when you're going backside, you tend to lean on your back foot more. So when you're trying to go down the line, like you'd want to go up here and bank off this. You want to be leaning a little bit more forward, and then shift your weight to your back foot once you do the turn. Or not that. You want to, let's see this thing. So you went into like this really long bottom turn that's losing all your speed. See your tail? You're just showing, you're spraying right there. You're still on your back tail. So you're never like quite got any momentum. Like all your speed is from that takeoff, and then you lose all your speed by leaning on your back foot the whole entire time. So your nose is up the whole time. So that's why you have no speed right there. So on your backside, like you've done this before, so just try to, when you're going down the line, try to put a little bit more weight on your front foot, and and then when you see this section right here, that's when you would have, I don't know what you would have done right there. But that's the lesson on this wave, is to don't lean so far back on your back foot. Let's go this one. So okay, this is the tricky seaside wave where it doubles up and does weird things. Only thing you could have done is try to look for this little double up right here and try to gauge where you want to be, because you know it's going to double up, you know it's going to fade out over here, so you got to get into this wave right here. So that's the lesson on this one, is to look for the double up, because you could have like kind of timed it and gone on this little wave right here, and you would have been riding it. So this one, let's see here. So you're going up, you're going down, little bottom turn just to get up to the top. So you'd get to the top right here and get speed off this little floater, but you went up maybe a little too late, maybe you bottom turned a little too hard. So maybe kind of more this route. Maybe that wasn't the section to do that little thing on. You didn't have enough time. So timing is a huge thing, I guess, from this whole session. Is maybe that's something you can try to work on, is timing, is knowing where to be, try to gauge what the wave's going to do and where you want to be in the wave to maximize it. So let's see. I know what you're trying to do, and that's a good thing, but like you got kind of caught up in this wave, and it pulled you back instead of helping you get forward and get down here. And by that time, the wave is just it's just moving pretty fast. So maybe I guess the idea, get up there a little faster, get up on top of that and don't let it hit you down. And another thing too is maybe on this wave right here, maybe you should have just waited to the end of the wave to kind of go for your maneuver, because that wave was going pretty quick and it might have been better to save that energy and use it on the end to get like a bigger maneuver, and you would have more speed. So let's go to the next one. Kind of checking out. You're just getting caught behind it. Yeah, you kind of took off pretty far behind the wave, and you just got caught up in it. The wave just kind of just kept crumbling in front of you. Sometimes it just can't do anything about that. Okay. So you're leaning back on your foot a little too much. It's like when you took off, it looks like you're kind of stalling right there. And then so like you're almost stalling, you're taking off and you're kind of stalling, it looks like. And then you go into a bottom turn, like after you're already stalling. So when you come up, you came up right here and there wasn't even really anything to turn off of. So it's a timing thing. But also to start this wave off, you want to be projecting down the line, gaining speed. And then when you have speed, that's when you do your turn. See how your nose is up? It's still up. And then that's when you're bottom turning. So there's just no way you could have done anything because you didn't have any speed and there was nothing here to turn off of. It was getting really flat up here. Like it seems like the wave's more steep, like right down here, and up here is like this weird, the double up thing. So it was flatter. So I would have just tried to project on the line, and then maybe wait for this wave to kind of steepen up a bit, and then go for your turn. So timing, so this is a thing. Maybe that's really the one thing to think about right now is timing. Let's look at how he timed this one. So he's on the wave. It's super flat. It's always Seaside's always. Oh, it's good on the outside for a couple maneuvers maybe, and then it flattens out, and then you're just kind of waiting to get to the inside. So see, he hasn't bottom turned. He's high in the wave. When he goes for that bottom turn, he knows how to just whip the maneuver real quick. But when he comes down, he has all his speed because he did that in a steep part of the wave, and then gained speed off of his turn to go into another one. He didn't even push it like he did it just enough because he probably knew if he pushed it any more, the wave was maybe like it would have just knocked him off. So he kind of like held back a little bit right there and wanted to pull the maneuver. Maybe also because he didn't want to kill his friend that was filming him. Let's see this one. So yeah, I just went on a closeout. So maybe, yeah, that was just a closeout with. Guy rips. So he's high in the wave. Takes a little high road, and he's turning down, and it's really steep right here, so it's like a perfect place to do that kind of turn. And then banks on the whitewash. And see how, remember your whitewash, how you banked off of it? He just wants to hit the whitewash, get everything he can out of it. And then he uses like all that energy right there to move him into another bottom turn to finish off the wave. And again, he didn't push it too far because he wanted to pull it, and he knew that if he pushed it any further, this wave probably would have eaten him. So he pushed just enough to get the maneuver, and then wanted to pull it. Okay. All right. And as you can see, like, he's surfing these waves on the outside that are just like such better waves. So if he was surfing this wave, I mean, there's not much he could have done on that wave either. It's just maybe next time when we go to the outside, or we'll go surf somewhere that's a little bit more open of a wave. These are kind of closed out waves. You did everything you could do. There's not much more you could have done. I mean, I literally probably would have done the same thing on that wave, or not taken it. I don't know why you kicked out on that one. So you got in, you're leaning back. Yeah, so you gotta like get into him and start moving this way. You want to get speed, start moving. Maybe you didn't get into that wave quite good enough, but it just looks like you're like leaning back a little bit too much when you want to go forward. So you would have if you would have projected yourself forward, leaned a little bit forward on your front foot, try to like work the wave a little bit so you can gain the speed to get into this part of the wave, because that's when the wave really came alive. Or maybe not. It looked like it was. Yeah, I guess I haven't done anything. Baby bottom turn. See, he didn't go to the bottom of the wave. He's getting speed right now. Getting speed off the whitewash. And there's half bottom turn to those airs. So leaning a little bit too far back on the foot again. Let's see, when you get up, you're leaning back on the back foot. So you're stalling right there. You bounce and then you're still stalling. See, you're like way on the back foot. You got to get up on the front and move down the line. Like that was like when we first started, was like about getting speed. So you still need to get speed. And you're doing good on some other days. I think you're like going down the line more. But sometimes it's easy to just like forget. So just remember, you got to get speed. You got to go down the line, and then you can go for your moves. So like going for that move right there, you know that wasn't like really necessary. So if you want to get the most out of your wave, you want to just get down the line right here. So you have a good opportunity to go down the line right there. And then you'd be turning right there, like you did on your first wave in this session. So Having technical difficulties. Okay. Where were we? Did all this. Then, let's see this one. Yeah, so you're leaning forward on that one. That was good. Looked like you wanted to go. See? You're like kind of like hunched over a little forward. That's good. You're going this way instead of leaning back. That's what you want to do. Just go. But the wave was going way faster. And let's see this one. Just got caught up. Yeah, you must have just slipped or something. Yeah, you kind of just like purled, but maybe you could have got going on that one. And here's your last one. So on this one, let's see, you're leaning back again. See, it kind of like, it looks like you're in a constant like bottom turn a little bit. So you went up there, and then I see this little speed pocket to come down. And you kind of got that. That was good, and that's what pushed you into this. But good, you had a good form on that, on the bottom turn right there. Like, I think you could have had more speed if you just leaned a little bit forward and got off your tail a little bit. And then the same line, but just this whole part right here, just lean forward and get momentum. But this part right here, a little bottom turn. Honestly, I mean, I would have gone a little bit further up, but maybe if you had more speed, you wouldn't been able to do that a little easier. And banked off it, got a little wobbly. So you want to come, when you come down here, get a little bit low. Just to kind of bend your knees a little bit more when you're coming out of those sometimes. And I kind of liked how you did that turn into a full-on turn back. Like, that was cool. I like that. That's a good way to finish the session. So you had a really strong first wave and a really strong last wave, which is pretty cool. That was good though. But get more speed and do those turns, and you'll feel better after the end of them. This will be a better maneuver altogether if you just have a little bit more speed. So that's it, Mike.